I've had a profound realization that the power in our country does not reside in the Congress or in our Supreme Courts or even our president, but it resides in the people. And the only way for our government to work and to work effectively is for people to have a sense of civic virtue and to take an active role in our government.
We the People, the Citizen and the Constitution is the most innovative and extensive program on the Constitution in the United States.
The We the People Citizen and the Constitution program is a fantastic way to teach civics. It's about engaging students in the examination of ideas and asking them their opinions about these ideas. What do we mean by individual personal powers of executive, legislative, and judicial powers?
You have your own personal sense of morals, and they serve as the rules that you lived your life by.
Exactly. If you think your rights have been infringed, it's based on your rules that you had set up in there.
It's an essential program. This is a program that I think generates reasoned patriotism. These kids take these issues of the day, dissect them, put them back together, put them against the framework of the Constitution.
We the People, the Citizen and the Constitution was launched in 1987. More than 30 million students and 81,000 educators have participated in the program since its inception. The curriculum is implemented in every congressional district and is active in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the Trust Territories.
Why we need government? Just think about that question for a minute.
Purposes of government are what the government is there for. Like the government is there to protect us.
Created for upper elementary, middle, and high school students, We the People increases their understanding of the Constitution and gives students citizen participation skills essential to preserving its underlying principles.
The idea of a citizen is just, it's ever evolving into
I think We the People, the Citizen and the Constitution is a good way to teach civics. Once we get that desire to study it, then they're eager and ready, and they pull together, they help each other.
What's intriguing about the three levels of the textbooks is that at the upper elementary level, the middle, and the high school level, the ideas and the content are basically the same. And we believe that kids in 5th grade, 6th grade can understand complex ideas that might have been thought just to be used in the high school textbook.
I really like We the People because it taught you a lot more about the Constitution and it gave real court cases from the past. And I really like that because you can learn about things that had already happened and things that practically made the future.
The We the People textbook is a very good book. I think it's not like droning on and on and on, and I actually understood it.
It's not a typical textbook that you sit there and read and memorize something. They'll ask you a question such as, is there a moral obligation to something like national service for citizens? But it won't go into details about that. It'll kind of leave you on the edge, letting you to decide what you may think.
The We the People text talks to kids and not at kids.
This is the last lesson that we have not covered this year, and this lesson deals with citizenship and citizens' responsibility. I like the We the People text. I use it throughout the school year because it's very easy to understand.
Today we're going to be learning about due process of the law. If you would open your books to page 262.
It's easy for the teachers to use, especially with the teacher's guide, because even if it weren't obvious within the student text, the teacher's guide walks them through it and also has other resources and ideas for extending the learning.
The curriculum is set up in such a way that any teacher who loves to teach government or loves to teach civics would enjoy the content. I never teach this program that I don't learn something daily.
Just look through this new book and see what you find in it.
We the People is a wonderful program that supports so much of everything that they're encouraging us to do. I mean, you can connect it with reading and social studies, and there's so many standards involved in it, whether it is decision making that the students are doing, writing, the public speaking that they do during the hearing. They are able to perform above and beyond my expectations.
One reason I like the We the People program is that I can use it with all my students. It doesn't matter their ability level.
The We the People program has been very, very important. Not just so much the competition, but what it's taught kids to do. Discuss, deliberate, debate, compromise, come to consensus.
We We believe that professional development is vital. To that end, we have developed a number of professional development activities for teachers at the upper elementary, middle, and high school levels all over the country.
What's going on in Unit 1? We're asking the question, why? How does this thing work?
The Center for Civic Education's We the People program has given me the kind of professional development that allows me to model strong teaching practices in our own classroom.
One of the things we have seen is a deepening about democracy, that in some ways you can look at American history and recent development and track it as a process of expanding the right to vote or the suffrage, and at the same time deepening the understanding of that right.
Master teachers break down the concepts from the morning's lectures, and they do it in an appropriate pedagogical fashion at the elementary, middle, or high school level, giving teachers the opportunity to reflect on their understandings, to clarify some conceptual points, and to talk about how to teach this information.
It's just wonderful to interact with other teachers that are so amazing at what they do and are so enthusiastic, and to hear their ideas and share with them, and I feel that it really helps to make my teaching a lot better.
If you tell the students, just think about the immigration problem we have after we read this unit.
And then to clearly finalize their understanding, we do a simulated congressional hearing with the teachers on the final day.
I found it to be a great experience to go through the process of the We the People simulated hearings as a participant. I was a participant in high school myself, and now I teach it, but to understand what it's like and to feel the same emotions and nerves and then confidence that always tends to come out of kids as they perform. I felt that way as a teacher.
Beyond the text, the simulated congressional hearing is the strongest way the program itself promotes critical thinking.
To prepare for this culminating activity, the entire class is divided into 6 groups based on the units of the text. Each hearing consists of 4 minutes of testimony with 6 minutes of follow-up questions and feedback from the judges.
Why did the founders choose a Republican form of government?
Because the power is held by the people and they give the power to the government.
I'm able to use the congressional hearing as an assessment for my students several ways. It's not just about paper and pencil. It's about what a child can do when they get in front of other people, when they get in a group of people. And that's why I like the congressional hearing so much. I get a chance to evaluate them on where they were when they started versus where they are when they end.
They discover things that they did not know about themselves, because it's an opportunity for them to work as a team, work as a group, and to respond to some really challenging questions.
Using the Declaration as your source, in your own words, describe what these principles of good government are. Where did the founders get these ideas? And do you think these principles are still valid today? Why or why not?
Principles of good government include protecting natural rights and limiting government power. If these purposes are not fulfilled, then it is the right of the people to either change or abolish the government.
Are there times when the purposes of government are in conflict with each other? And when that happens, how does it get worked out?
There are times in conflict, such as when the executive branch, meaning the president, wants.
The elementary and middle school classes compete in local and regional events, with every student receiving individual recognition.